Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Let's start our new chapter that is human activities. So far in our previous video, we finished up discussing about the map work. We discussed the various subtopics. So today let's move on to this new chapter. So basically, we've moved on to the human geography. So let's see the human activities. We'll start with the introduction to the human activities. So here we'll see the meaning of human activities, the various major types of the human activities. So let's dive into it. Uh, the concept of human activities. What do we mean when we say human activities? The human activities, they can be defined in various ways. So here are some of the ways where you can define the human activities. Human activities, they just refer to what people do or just what they cause just to happen in order to achieve certain goal in life. So that's the one way to look at it, the human activities. Also, in case human activities refer to any task that are performed by man for the purpose of earning his or her livelihood. So that's the other way you can define human activities. Also, human activities, they just refer to the functions, tasks, or works that are done by human being over time for achieving certain purposes or goals. So these are just definitions of human activities. They are all those activities that the human being do just to gain income or just to live or just to get something for their livelihood. So that's all about the human activities. Human activities also refer to the acts or processes of production as intended by people in a certain place. That's the other way to look at it. So all those are definitions of human activities. Human activities also refers to the tasks that human beings do to modify the environment as well as to extract the resources from the environment which are just needed for their survival. That is just satisfying all the human needs and wants. Based on the given definitions about the meaning of human activities, it is clear that human activities they just involve the actions of people by performing different tasks or functions on their surroundings, environment, just to earn a living or survive in terms of achieving their basic needs as well as the other needs. Now, to achieve these goals, people they've been modifying their tools needed for obtaining the resources from the environment, from basic to more advanced and efficient technology. Uh, so let's see the major types of the human activities. So we've seen the definitions, how you can define human activities. We've seen many of them. So let's see the major types of the human activities. So here are some of them. The first one is the primary activities. So the primary activities, these just involve those activities that involve the exploration of the nature in the production of the materials. Production in these kinds of activities largely depends on the natural resources that are available on the earth. So that's the primary activities. Examples of these primary activities they include as the agriculture, which is just largely depends on the availability of the arable land, which includes fertile soil, water for irrigation, for crop growing, or pasture for animal keeping. However, also these kinds of activities like mining, quarrying, just depends on the availability of the rocks, which minerals can have. So these rocks with these kinds of minerals, the activities such in these primary activities, they include as these fishing, lumbering, hunting, and gathering. So we'll see these primary activities. We just dive into them a little bit, discussing them in detail. The production of the primary activities includes the various raw materials for just more sophisticated manufacturing industries. For example, cotton from the agriculture is done that is used in these textile industries, timber for the paper industries, and leather for the shoemaking industries. Now, let's see these primary activities. We'll start with the first one. We'll discuss some of them in this video, then we'll move on to the other ones in the next session. The agricultural activities, they just involve growing and harvesting of the crops from the farms and the rearing of the animals. So that's the definition of the agriculture. Agriculture is the oldest, it's just the one that is commonly practiced the primary human activity. This is just because it is contributes to the provision of food and other raw materials, and as you can know that food is just the basic need for the survival of the human being. So some of the crops that are used as sources of food are just these, for example, maize, rice, millet, sorghum, soybeans, and peas. So all those crops are grown. Now, livestock keeping is just the rearing of the animals for the food and for the other human uses. So it's just the other part of the agriculture. The other primary activity is mining. Mining, this is the extraction of the minerals such as the gold, copper, diamond, platinum, and uranium, etc., from the rocks with the minerals, as well as the quarrying for obtaining the building materials such as the concrete or sand, soil. Now, the products of the mining activities are just the ones that are used for the raw materials for various processing industries. Some minerals such as the coal and the uranium are the ones that are the ones that are used as sources of power. So here you have it, the minerals are mined, they can be used as sources of power. For example, the uranium is the one that is used for the production of the nuclear energy that is highly demanded all over the world due to its effectiveness in use. The other primary activity is the fishing. Fishing just involves catching the fish and other water, that is aquatic products from the oceans, like seas, dams, rivers, and ponds for the commercial or just for domestic purposes. Small scale fishing, just the one that relies on the traditional methods such as the use of the fish nets or just fish nets and hooks. While when you talk about the large scale fishing, here you will involve these kinds of boats, fishing boats, just to get large amount of these fish. Fishing may include catching aquatic animals other than fish, such as the mollusks, the crustaceans, and the echinoderms. So that can be also involved in the fishing process. The term is just this fishing is just not normally applied for just catching the family fish. It can also be applied or just also for the aquatic mammals, such as the whales. So that's fishing. So I hope that's clear, everyone. Thank you for listening. That's all I have for this session. In our next session, we'll move on to the other primary activity and we'll move on to the other major types of the human activities. So I hope that's clear and thank you.